Well, you said you were kind of neutral with the quarterback situation.
I don't think you'll be neutral anymore.
Because we got Shedeur Sanders join us right now.
I had a barber competition and I felt the same way. There's no such thing as a winner and loser. I just want everybody to do their best. So
right there. That's not a press conference. That's not a scripted appearance for the cameras. That's Shedeur Sanders walking into a live broadcast tent, putting on a headset and giving his full attention to a kid named Jacob who nobody outside that tent had ever heard of. No entourage moment, no highlight reel setup, just a quarterback showing up for a fan in the middle of training camp. And by the end of it, you're going to understand why this 2-minute clip is getting passed around way more than a lot of his actual football clips. Because this one tells you who he is when nobody's grading to throw. Training camp broadcasts are usually background noise. Reporters filling airtime, players walking through for a quick soundbite, the usual stuff you scroll past. That is what this segment looked like before it started. ESPN Cleveland had a fan named Jacob sitting at the desk, and the hosts were building up to something. They told him they had a surprise. Jacob didn't know what was coming. Then Shedeur Sanders walks in. The reaction from the hosts says everything. One of them turns to Jacob mid-sentence and basically resets the whole conversation, telling him that whatever neutral stance he had on the Browns quarterback competition, it probably wasn't going to survive the next few minutes. That's the kind of moment that only works if the guy walking in actually cares about being there. You can't fake that energy on a live mic in front of a kid who's clearly excited. Shedeur puts the headset on like it's nothing. No hesitation, no handler steering him toward the exit after 30 seconds. He looks at Jacob, says, "What's up?" asks how he's doing, and just settles into the conversation like they've talked before. That's the detail people keep replaying. It's not a wave and a photo. It's an actual back and forth. And here's why that matters more than people realize right now. Shedeur is in the middle of the most talked about quarterback competition in the league. Every rep, every practice throw, every interview is being picked apart by national media. Bernie Kosar has already said he'd be shocked if Shedeur doesn't win the job. Coach Mike Bajikian has said he's been blown away by his vision. That's the pressure surrounding him every single day at camp. So when he takes a break from all of that noise to sit with a kid at a broadcast desk and actually be present, it hits different. This wasn't a media obligation. This was a guy choosing to make someone's day better with the 2 minutes he had. And that decision, more than any stat line, is what's got people talking this week.
Hey, how's it going, Shedeur?
what's up? You good?
This is Jacob.
What's up?
How you doing, my man?
You able to pop on the head a little bit? Yeah, perfect.
So, Jacob, we got Shedeur Sanders, second-year player for the Cleveland Browns, QB, holding things down, doing what he does. How you doing today, Shedeur?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing very good. Even better that I get to see him today.
That's wonderful.
Stop for a second and actually think about that setup. A grown man in the biggest competitive stretch of his career stops to make eye contact with a stranger's kid on a headset. That's the whole story right there. Now, here's where the clip goes from sweet to genuinely revealing. The host asks Jacob about his mindset, that he wants everyone in the quarterback competition to just go out and have fun. No winners, no losers, just guys doing their best. That's a pretty mature answer for a young fan to give live on air. And instead of brushing past it or giving some generic athlete answer back, Shedeur actually engages with it. He tells Jacob he likes that mentality. Then he does something most people wouldn't expect. He compares it to something from his own life, a barber competition, and says he felt the exact same way. No winners, no losers, just people doing their best. It's a small comparison, almost throwaway, but it tells you something about how Shedeur processes competition in general. He's not performing humility for the cameras. He's pulling from an actual memory to relate to a kid he just met. Then he takes it further. He talks about appreciating life on a different level, about not getting consumed by the small battles, because in the grand scheme of things, they don't mean as much as we think they do while we're in them. That's not the kind of line an athlete says when they're rushing through a media obligation to get back to the field. That's someone actually sitting in the conversation. Remember, this is happening during one of the most scrutinized quarterback battles in the NFL right now. Every outlet in Cleveland has an opinion on whether it should be Shedeur, Dillon Gabriel, or Joe Flacco under center. Analysts like Jason Lloyd have been critical without much specificity. Reporters like Mary Kay Cabot have been tracking every single practice rep. And
now, Jacob was out here. He was saying that he was a little neutral in the quarterback competition. He wants everyone to have fun and go out here and have a lot of fun. How are you feeling with everything going on?
I like that mentality.
Yeah.
I had a barber competition and I felt the same way. There's no such thing as a winner and loser. I just want everybody to do their best. So I agree. That's when you appreciate life to a different extent and don't care about the small battles in life, because those mean a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, they don't really mean much.
So ask yourself this: how many guys in the middle of a career-defining competition would actually stop and reflect like that on a live mic, instead of just giving a safe, forgettable answer? The next part of the quip is where things shift toward football, and it gives you a real look at where Shedeur's head is at heading into the season. The host brings up Saturday, the fact that real football is right around the corner, and asks if it's hit him yet that game action is finally close. His answer is worth sitting with. He says every single day already feels like that to him, not because he's manufacturing hype, but because the tunnel vision focus he brings to every rep in camp already mirrors what game day is going to feel like. He's not waiting for Saturday to lock in. He says he's been building that exact feeling every single day he's out there getting reps. Then he says something that tells you exactly what he's chasing this season. He's excited to see how that feeling translates to an actual game, because he knows he'll be more comfortable than he's ever been. Not more talented, not more hyped, more comfortable. That word matters. Comfortability is what he says he's most excited for. If you know anything about Shedeur's rookie year, that word hits different. He didn't get a clean runway into the league. He came in as a fifth-round pick, watched Dillon Gabriel get the early opportunities, and didn't take over the starting job until Gabriel went down with a concussion in Week 11 against the Ravens. Once he got the reps, he never gave the job back, and his best performance of the year came in Week 14 against Tennessee, where he threw for over 360 yards and accounted for 4 total touchdowns.
And Jacob, you can certainly attest to that as you deal with what you have faced in life so far. And Shedeur, far as what you're dealing with on the football field, we're excited to see you. We're looking forward to Saturday. Has it hit you like, man, come Saturday, we're back on the football field and we're playing a football game?
Nah, I think every day feels like that, honestly. I think I've been getting to that feeling each and every day, and whenever I'm getting reps and doing those things. So it's a tunnel vision focus, and that's how I truly feel. So I'm excited to see how the feeling translates, because I know I'll be way more comfortable. So that's what I'm excited for, is the comfortability of it.
Here's the reality check. This isn't a guy talking himself up. This is a guy who's already lived through the hard version of this job, and he's telling you straight up why this year should look different. Let's zoom out for a second, because the reason this clip resonates isn't just the words Shedeur says, it's the timing of it. This entire exchange happens during what Cleveland reporters have called the truest quarterback competition in the NFL. Todd Monken, now in his first year as head coach after replacing Kevin Stefanski, has stuck with a real extended evaluation window through the bulk of training camp, and general manager Andrew Berry has stayed firm that this isn't a competition being manufactured for headlines, it's real. And in the middle of all that, with cameras and analysts breaking down every single throw, Shedeur takes 2 minutes to make a kid's day. That's the part that a lot of people are missing when they only focus on stat lines and depth charts. Off the field, Shedeur has already built one of the most unusual profiles for a rookie in league history. He set the all-time NFLPA rookie group licensing record before he'd even played a full season, more than doubling what Patrick Mahomes did as a rookie and blowing past Tom Brady's number 2. He's been the top-selling jersey in the entire league. Nike made him their first ever college football NIL athlete before he even got to the pros. But none of that shows up in this clip. There's no mention of contracts, no mention of jersey sales, no mention of any of the noise that usually follows him. It's just him, a headset, and a kid named Jacob talking about not letting the small battles define you. That's really the whole story.
We appreciate you joining us, Shedeur. And Jacob, we appreciate you as well, my man, for being strong and taking care of business and joining us today.
Yeah, most definitely. Appreciate
you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Definitely.
And that's really the final point here. The competition will sort itself out on the field, but moments like this are why so many people are already in his corner before a single regular season snap. Let's bring it back together. This clip isn't complicated. A kid named Jacob got invited to sit at a broadcast desk during training camp. The hosts surprised him with Shedeur Sanders, and instead of a quick hello, Shedeur actually sat down, put on the headset, and had a real conversation about mindset, competition, and comfortability. He related to Jacob's own philosophy about there being no winners or losers, just people doing their best. He talked about not getting consumed by small battles, and then he talked about his own comfort level heading into the season, tying it back to everything he's already been through as a rookie who had to earn his opportunity the hard way after Gabriel's injury. None of that required a big production. It just required him showing up, present, for 2 minutes with a fan. And that's exactly why this is spreading the way it is. People aren't just watching a quarterback. They're watching someone who seems to actually understand what matters in the moment he's in. So here's the real question after watching that. Was that just a nice gesture from a guy having a good day at camp? Or is that actually who Shedeur Sanders is when the cameras roll and nobody scripted a single word? Because based on everything he said in that tent, comfortability, perspective, no small battles defining the big picture, it sure looks like the second one. Drop your take in the comments. Are you more impressed by what he's shown on the field or